good morning, good afternoon, good evening, hi. I hope nothing else crashes because, like this morning was really bad. For some reason, everything just was being weird, including VTube Studio, and then tonight. OBS still crashed. I'm like, what the heck? Today's just like not my day or something. But you know, that just means I'm gathering all the scuffluck, so it ain't too bad if I think about it that way. Like, oh yes, this is just me gathering scuffluck. No, fingers crossed nothing else bad happens. Hello? So now is such is the joy of our reunion. Time to do more research on food. I would say dad, but no. We are gonna learn how to cook and then enter the contest. So oiled splashed, hand-pulled noodles. I want food now. Or this kind of food. I wonder if I can find some. Oops, not that. Oh, you came to the library too. What a coincidence. Hello, you. Are you here to look up some case files? Just grabbing some books to put under my pillow. I haven't been sleeping well lately. Maybe some reading will help. How I envy the life of a student. Their brains are filled with books, not worries. No. Being a student is so much more worries. Like, what the heck? And ooh, you should try the game. It's fun. Surely you're joking. I'm not joking at all. Investigating these sordid cases for the Judicial Review Office every day is bound to make one feel sick. They say the Baizao Academy Library is the cleanest and purest place in the world, where only wise men and sages dwell. So I'll sit here for a while and purify my soul. Did you used to study here at the academy too? Guchuan? This was many years ago. Advice for those who want to try the Arknights game. The main advice would be, do not feel bad if you get blue pulls for multi-pulls. It happens to me a lot. No fear. Like, it's all good. I still haven't achieved anything yet, academically, since I graduated from here. I feel unworthy of the Academy's prestige. But I was fortunate to meet a great teacher here, and that experience will benefit me for the rest of my life. Who is this teacher you speak of? No longer with us. Then why do you come here today? To borrow books? I'm here to look up some case files. The Ministry of Rights is preparing for a grand celebration, and we need to refer to some old rituals. I'm a deputy minister for the Judicial Review Office. Do you take me for blind or merely illiterate? The thing you have in your hand is clearly the case file from 15 years ago, when the Grand Preceptor committed treason. You know that file is top secret, right? You really have some gall. I have nothing to hide. I am indeed looking for materials related to that old case. I think there may be more to it than we realize. If you think I'm doing anything illegal, then by all means, have me arrested. What are you blabbing about? Did I say I was going to arrest you? I was only saying. That is quite a coincidence because I'm also very interested in that case. Ooh, a team up. Okay, this is the students... This is the academy uniform. I'm into this outfit. I want this shirt. Oh ho ho. I learned a lot from our debate today. However, I still maintain my own views about the new reforms. I'll have to do more research on this. Okay, this outfit's also nice. Hello, Baizao lecturer. It's fine. This campus is plenty large enough to accommodate a wealth of different ideas. If my arguments have not convinced you, then you should not force yourself to agree with me just because I'm a teacher. The statements of this academy must focus on real-world issues instead of getting lost in theoretical or ideological musings. Dossier. A clock hangs on top of the ancient building, the minute hand ticking as the shadow of sunlight moves slowly. The bell rings, and soon students start pouring out of the classrooms. A lone figure moves against the tide. The guards fail to notice the unfamiliar face amidst the crowd. Might have been Yu Chang. Good day. Do you need some help? Hello. How do I get to the archives from where the students' files are stored? You mean the registrar? What do you want with those files? I'm a new assistant lecturer. The professor wants me to organize the graduates' files. That's odd. Which professor? Professor Jing. She teaches military theory at the college affiliated to the Ministry of War. She's teaching classes all day today, so she asked me to do this errand for her. Oh! What's wrong? Go straight down here, past the main building, turn right, and you'll see the Bingshan building. That's it. You better get going. Trust me, you don't want to keep her waiting. Dossier. And now to the kitchen. Ahem. The first rule of any restaurant is that once you enter the kitchen, the chef's words are law. If you want to win the contest and meet Mobufu, you must follow my instructions to the letter. Do you understand? Didn't we agree to split the prize money 70-50? 70-30? Why are you acting like I owe you a favor? Okay, enough of that. Didn't you say you want to learn a few new recipes anyway? Have you changed your mind? No, I want to do this, but I'm no Rhodes Island 5-star chef. This competition sounds too difficult for an amateur like me. Why don't you go instead? I am the head chef of Savors at Use. Participating in this kind of competition would be selling my good name. I'm giving you opportunity here. As my apprentice, you can show your skills and wipe that arrogant smirk off of Mo Bufu's face. Wouldn't Xingzu be a better choice? She's a foodie, you know. I'm afraid that, as a wandering foodie, I'm too well known. It'll be inappropriate for me to participate in a food competition. Enough chit-chat. First things first, to get you ready for this competition, let me tell you a little about Ding Feng Lo. I've been hearing about this place since I first set foot in Baizhou. What's so special about it? Remember I told you about the 4 great restaurants of Baizhou, corresponding to the 4 main branches of Viennese cuisine, that is, north, south, east, and west? About 400 years ago, several chefs arrived in Baizhou. They each set up their own restaurants and culinary sects. This marked the founding of the 4 main branches of Viennese cuisine. It was the first head chef of Ding Feng Lo who promoted the founding of the first place. The legendary chef's name has been lost to history. He was the founder of Northern cuisine, but was also proficient in the other 3 styles. The other 3 chefs were only invited to Baizhou after they lost to the Northern chef in a cooking competition. With such a storied history, Ding Feng Lo outshined the other 3 restaurants and became known as the #1 restaurant in Baizhou. Who's teaching this class, you or me? Oh, my apologies. Humph, of course. What she said is pretty much accurate. The only thing I'll add to this is that eventually, the 4 great restaurants of Baizhou started fighting with each other and for fame and glory. These squabbles continue to this day, and they're really quite annoying. I thought Baizhou was a place where all these great chefs could learn from each other. If I'd known there was going to be all this infighting, I would not have gone. Not have gone where? Ahem. In any case, what you need to know is that, as the most famous restaurant in Baizhou, Ding Feng Lo, and its chef selection competition has extremely high standards. Ding Feng Lo has not taken on any new disciples in many years. The only reason they're hosting this competition now is because they suddenly got short-handed right when they needed to start preparing for the Feast of 100 Delicacies. But I've also heard that Chef Mo is advancing in age and still hasn't found an apprentice to take over the business. The format of the competition is different each time, but there is one requirement that stays constant. Each chef has to showcase their best dish. Wait a second. If the competition is really that difficult, how can I ever hope to win? Logic would dictate that an amateur chef with absolutely no culinary experience would have little hopes of winning. However, you have me in your corner. I can teach you a recipe that is easy to cook and is perfect for the occasion. Longevity noodles. Longevity noodles? Why would they serve longevity noodles at the Feast of 100 Delicacies? The reigning Chulung's birthday just happens to coincide with the Mid-Autumn Festival, so every year, they serve longevity noodles at the feast. Yummy. His design's nice. He's fiery, as a chef should be. But it's such a simple dish. Is it really appropriate for a major competition like this? Who told you that simple dishes can't show great skills? Just watch and learn. Cooking sounds. Ooh. Look at how smug he is. I love it. So proud. What's it smell? That smells wonderful. What is it? What do you think? It's like magic. You really only used the ingredients you showed us before? Nothing else? Yum. I know, right? I can watch all day and learn nothing, for reals. So cute. Fresh showbiz meat, mushrooms, scallions, bok choy. It's a simple recipe with basic ingredients, but the result is truly amazing. Sometimes, the true skill of a chef hides in unseen places. There's more to this bowl of noodles than meets the eye. Another chef can use these exact same ingredients, but if the ratios, the heat, or the cooking time vary just a little bit, it'll taste completely different. Do you know how long I spent perfecting this recipe? Don't just stand there, dig in. I want... yummy. Wow, I take back any criticism I had of your food. You just inhaled it. Did you even taste the flavor? If Blaze can actually replicate the taste, maybe she can really meet Chef Mo. But are you really up to the task, Blaze? Figuring out the secret to this recipe would be difficult indeed, but simply following its steps should not be too much trouble. Have you ever cooked anything before? Of course. Ah, that's good then. Now I'll give you the recipe and explain every step for you. Follow them exactly and you'll be fine. Great. I'll study hard. I won't disappoint you. Yum yum yum. Didn't you say you knew how to cook? The instant noodles are already pre-made. How should I know how to knead flour into dough? You really are a hopeless case. You haven't really even taught me anything yet. How can I teach you anything? You managed to break 3 bowls just while kneading the dough. I can't risk you breaking anything else here. Ayo. Be careful. These bowls are expensive. We can't afford to buy new ones. Blaze, what the heck? Like, I've cooked before. I made instant noodles. Search Guchuan. Filter return from Victoria. No results. Why are there no records at all? Search Guchuan. Filter enrolled in 1076. No results. Ooh, they've been wiping his records. Search Guchuan. Filter Ministry of Rights. No results. What is going on? Guchuan, an ethnic Vietnamese, born and raised in Victoria, returned to Yan in 1074. In 1076, he was admitted to Baizhou Academy. After completing his studies, he joined the Ministry of Rights. These are the only records left for the deceased in that case. Ah yes, a secret way of the noodles. Drinks boiling water. And eating noodles like, yummy. Oh, you would be so mad. They should have files for all mandarins who graduated from the Imperial Academy and went to work in the 6 ministries of court. Why can't I find them in the system? Guchuan, what did you... Professor, I was just trying to confirm that with you. I didn't mean to ask you to come here in person. She said she's a new assistant professor. Why haven't I heard of her before? The person who came here seemed to know you very well, so I didn't. How many times have I told you? The Academy's personnel files are confidential. Keep that in mind. Forget it. I'll go handle this myself. Oh no. Ooh. The room is empty and the documents and desk are still where they were, without any signs of having been moved. Jingyan, you're a bit too old to be playing hide-and-seek, aren't you? Called out instantly. Jing, has the Judicial Review Office come to our school to apprehend some culprit? The office is investigating a case, so I've come here to collect a few old case files. Please, Jing, Professor Jing, please cooperate. That blushy face? Oh, Zule's mother. Alright then, if you're here on official business, show me your official documentation. I rushed so quickly to get here that I left it back in my office. Really? Well then, I'll just place a call to the head of the office. Wait a moment. Professor, are you okay? Should I call security? Gives a pleading look. No, I forgot that I asked some other professor here to collect some materials for me. I'm sorry for wasting your time. It's not a problem. Goodbye, Professor. Alright, now it's just the two of us. 谢谢. Xingyan. I've always thought that you were a well-mannered and trustworthy girl. Every time I mentioned you to Le, I told him to follow your example. And look at you now. What are you doing here? A deputy minister from the Judicial Review Office, sneaking around like this? I'm conducting an investigation. What kind of case requires the secrecy? What kind of case can't go through the normal process? A cold case. The deceased was once a student at the Baizhou Academy, but I searched the personnel files and found no record of him. The Academy is a record of every student. This person you speak of, how do you know they once studied here? I saw in the files at the Judicial Review Office. The Judicial Review Office collects its files directly from the Ministry of Rights. However, the Ministry files do not match up with the Academy's. Someone made a mistake somewhere. Is there a chance that someone altered the Academy's files? How could that have possibly have happened? The Academy is one of the Chinese government's most important talent pipelines. Once the student's information is entered into the system, it is archived under strict supervision. No one has the authority to modify this data, unless... Unless what? No, that's impossible. Enough of this nonsense, you better leave now. It's almost mealtime. Pretty soon, lots of students will be crowding these halls. If anyone else sees you here... Also, please don't go doing something like this again. Mealtime. We need to go back to Baizhou to investigate. Why are you looking at all these travel guides? These places, I've seen them in my dad's letters. Humble Garden, Virtue Bookstore. Oh, and when he was studying here, there was a Shangshu diner near the main entrance. He said they have the best twice-cooked pork in town. Now that I'm visiting Baizhou, I want to visit all these places he mentioned to me. Say, is there a restaurant on your campus called the Shangshu Diner? Huh? You want Shangshu food? The place you're talking about closed more than 30 years ago. How would you possibly know about it? More than 30 years ago? Are you sure? Yes, it closed in 1065 when I was in school. How could I forget? Lots of students used to go eat there because it was near campus and served tasty, affordable food. But then, in 1065, there's a terrible catastrophe in Shangshu, and the restaurant owner had to return home to deal with the aftermath. The students even made donations to help with the rescue effort. A man who was born and raised in Victoria did not come to Yan until 1074. How could he know about the place? Unless he had visited Yan before, or maybe he wasn't born and raised in Victoria after all. Maybe he was a native Yanese? What are you mumbling about? If Guchuan's Ministry of Rights records were modified, and he was indeed a student at the Academy, well then, there would definitely be something worth digging up in the Academy's files. What year was Blaze born? If we work back from there, does the system have the records of students enrolled between 1052 and 1062? Help me just this once, it's extremely important. Thousands of students each year. You want to look through tens of records at once? Do you know how long that will take? The person in question worked for the Ministry of Rights. He probably studied at an affiliated college. That may help narrow down the search a bit. If the person you're looking for was not a high-ranking Mandarin, you may want to start looking at files after 1055. That year, the Academy was restructured. It became a true public education institution, instead of just serving as a talent pipeline for the government. The enrollment figure shot up. I see. Dossier. Go. You've only 2 hours. found you. Well, Blaze mentioned living with mother, so... She did have mom. I hope she still has mom, but Gu Sheng. Male. Born in Langyi in 1037, accepted to Baizhou Academy in 1055. He was assigned to the education department administered by the Ministry of Rights, and was among the first batch of students to enroll after the school was restructured. Top marks in all subjects. Wait, he didn't graduate? This file was last updated in 1062? This is missing a person's file? I mean, this is a missing person's file? Gu Sheng, along with his wife and daughter, disappeared in 1062. Accordingly, this file has been sealed. Okay, so in 1062, he disappeared with his wife and daughter. So that means Blaze was at least born in 1062? So now we kind of know what Blaze's age is. So he was already a family man when he was in Baizhou, and all three of them disappeared. 1062. Is there something special about 1062? Blaze, I need to confirm something. You were born in 1062 in Victoria, right? Yes, from as far back as I can remember, I lived in Victoria. I asked you where you were born. How am I supposed to remember that? I get that. It's like, how would I know where I'm born? If my family tells me I'm born in Victoria, I'm born in Victoria, as far as I know. Gu Tuan. Gu Sheng. Xingyan, your time is almost up. You should get going. What did he say? No good. The dough still won't do. Let's try again. But that's already my 20th batch. Don't worry, you've been practicing all day, and you're starting to iron out the issues with your technique. Success is not far away. I'm really sorry, you don't need to stay here with me through all this. It's not a problem. You've been helping me so much, I guess you must also be interested in the outcome of all this, huh? Alright, just wait here a minute. This time, I'm sure I'll do it and whip you up a nice big bowl of noodles for dinner. Did you... have something else you wanted to say to me just now? What? Never mind. To be fair, the recipe the young chef gave you was indeed simple enough. He probably didn't expect your biggest difficulty would be kneading the dough. Look at you defending him. I'm sorry. I'm doing all I can do. It's hard. When I work, my body temperature rises, and the dough starts to dry out in just a few seconds. I add more water to the flour, and the flour to the water, and then more flour to the water, and water. The dough that was originally the size of my fist is now almost as big as my head. The situation using your rising body temperature is certainly unique. Anyway, you need to think positively. So long as you learn to knead the dough, making the longevity noodles will be no problem at all. Speaking of which, for someone who has never cooked before, you certainly have some impressive knife skills. Well, back in Rhode Island, elite operators like me perform surgery on ourselves in emergency situations. I guess there's not much difference between using a scalpel and a kitchen knife, assuming you're not using it like the young chef does when he chops vegetables. I can even use the skills I learned from stitching my own wounds to mend my own clothes. I wouldn't have thought your job would be this dangerous. Not a big deal if you have the time to practice. The more I think about it, the angrier I get. Can't you just have more patience with me? Hey, look. I think you're getting the hang of it. The amount of force is just right. Keep it up. I haven't even had any dinner yet. Hold on to that anger. Fold the dough over and continue kneading. Right. You can get even angry if you want. No, I can't get any angrier. Boy, the noodles he makes sure are delicious. I'm spent. Why is cooking even more exhausting than combat training? I understand this is really hard for you. I don't want to deal with that pipsqueak anymore. Can I be your apprentice instead? You're gourmand. You must know how to cook, right? Imagine being defeated by noodles. Now I'm inspired. Maybe tomorrow I'll get some Chinese food. Spare me the compliments. I'm nothing close to him when it comes to cooking. And you know, it's funny that I've never actually eaten longevity noodles before. They're just noodles, right? You tried so many different restaurants. How could you've never eaten longevity noodles before? I've been to many restaurants that serve longevity noodles, but it only makes sense to eat them on your birthday. I celebrate every birthday at home. They don't allow me to go out on my birthday. Okay, but even if you celebrate your birthdays at home, your mom or dad never made you a bowl of longevity noodles? Actually, I've never met my parents. So she's forced to stay home on her birthday, and her parents, she's never met them? They didn't even show up to her birth? Oof. Just ouch. Blaze's dad. I do think it's kind of funny learning about him. So he worked in the Ministry of Rights. And he worked there for over a decade, but he never got promoted, which is a big oof. But he was dedicated to his job. He also taught calligraphy lessons because he had nice penmanship, which is cute. I wonder how he met Blaze's mom. I'm assuming the mom was probably from Victoria. Maybe she was an exchange student, and she was like, ooh, this guy's handwriting is so pretty. And then they fell in love. Like, ta-da! That'd be kind of cute. And then he accidentally gets involved in some big stuff, and then he gets offed. Or it could just be a big accident, which would be even more oof. Oh, I'm sorry. Although I've never seen my parents, I still have other family members. Every year my birthday, my family holds a big banquet for me. Banquets like that, I don't think they care much about the longevity noodles. However, I've always been a little afraid of birthdays. Isn't it nice that other people remember your birthday? I can't really explain it. I always feel that every day I have a birthday party. That every time I have a birthday party, I'll be surrounded by a lot of people who want me to laugh. And also to cry. But it doesn't seem to matter whether I'm there or not. Enough talk about me. You're from Victoria. Do they eat longevity noodles there? I grew up in Victoria, but my parents are both Viennese, at least by blood. When I was little, every year on my birthday, my mom would make me a bowl of longevity noodles. The taste was nothing special, it was just regular old home cooking. But after I left home and could no longer eat my mom's home cooking, I even forgot what it was like to celebrate a birthday. Oh, so yeah, mom was with her. I made her noodles every birthday, that's cute. That is, until the night. The seasoning packet, the vegetable packet, and I'll add 2 sausages. Why are the lights off in the cafeteria? Hey, what are you guys doing here? You scared me. Shh, keep your voice down. It's late. What are you guys doing in the cafeteria this hour? Ace, why do you look all serious? There's not another urgent mission, is there? What are you holding there? Instant noodles? I stayed too long in the training grounds this afternoon and didn't have enough for dinner. Have enough for dinner. What? Now that I'm a lead operator, I can't eat instant noodles anymore? Touch. The captain isn't scolding you for eating junk food. He's saying, today's your birthday and you're eating instant noodles? My birthday? But didn't Dr. Kelsey say? That's why I told you to lower your voice. So long as we don't make too much noise, even if she hears us, she'll pretend not to hear, yes? Mechanist. I even suspect that she deliberately arranged for our fieldwork to break, and my fieldwork breaks to overlap, just so we could throw you a birthday party. Think of it as your way of giving you a birthday blessing, even if it's hard to imagine. Blaze, you're one of us, a part of Rhodes Island. You're not alone. Thank you all so much. Alright, it's already midnight. Happy birthday, Blaze. Happy birthday, Big Cat. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Also, Amia's isn't on the ship right now, but she asked me to pass on the birthday wishes. She hopes you stay happy and healthy. Aw, Bunny. So, Are you planning to come on, blow the candles and cut the cake? Or are you going back to your instant noodles? Why not both? That was the first time so many people celebrated my birthday with me. That bowl of instant noodles became my longevity noodles. Everyone knew how much I wanted to have a birthday party, but that day, not a single person actually came and said, I knew you wanted this. They acted like it was just another one of my many, many birthdays. I liked the nothing special feeling of it. Oh wow! Even blatant touch. Now you're making me jealous. Oh right, you said you never had longevity noodles. Well, let me whip you up let me whip up some for you. But you haven't even learned how to knead the dough yet. I don't know how to knead noodles, but I do know how to cook ready-made noodles. I'll go ask Jiang for some dried noodles that I can simply boil. Wait, handmade noodles? Ready-made noodles? Maybe it really will work after all. Noodles are noodles. But oh gosh, birthday party things. I was never really into birthday parties. Like, to me, birthday parties are more for people besides myself. That's how I thought of them. Because I'm just like, I just want to chill. And how do I want to do this? Right here seems good. Yeah, why not? For the food and money, I love that. Food is the main thing, truly. Diet. How dare diet do that? Go get a diet. I'm just defending the space. Okay, all is well. Ta-da! Okay, all is well. Stare. I know, right? Imagine having you. Cries. I will get him eventually. I'm just hoping it won't be too much pain and suffering. Like, come on, brother, you. Have pity on me, brother, you.
Mission accomplished.
Ta-da! Early the next morning, the restaurant is still quiet, save for a few foul beasts jumping back and forth on the fallen leaves outside the door. The night watchman at the Judicial Review office lets out a loud yawn. The foul beasts take off in all directions. Yawn. Ugh. I had a nightmare last night that a bag beast ate all the flour in my kitchen. How terrifying. Morning! Have some noodles. You figured out how to make them? Look at the bags under your eyes. Were you practicing all night? Haha, no, only about half of the night. Hey, Xingshu still hasn't woken up yet. And no talking for now, try the noodles. You, huh? You gave up learning how to knead the dough and boiled some ready-made noodles instead? These are no ordinary ready-made noodles. Xingshu and I looked through all the ready-made noodles in the market and picked out the ones we feel have the texture closest to your handmade ones. Of course, they don't quite have the same mouthfeel as the handmade noodles, so Xingshu adjusted your soup base recipe to ensure they taste similar to longevity noodles you made from scratch. This is blasphemy. You're using ready-made noodles and you tampered with my recipe? My word. Don't jump to any conclusions yet. Please have a taste. The young chef picks up his chopsticks and, with a giant frown on his face, pulls out some of the noodles. He carefully takes a sniff and then finally takes a taste. Well? He's like, dang, that's actually not bad. Like, maybe instant noodles aren't so bad after all. Say something. Why did you think this would work? I did one more multiple. I got blue, so I'm just like, nah. I'm biting some more luck. I'm gathering all the scuffed luck. Why did you think this would work? Xingqiu was starving after all my failed attempts. I figured at this point, I was better off just making noodles I knew how to make, so at least she'd have something to eat. Then I started thinking, the most important element of longevity noodles isn't the taste. Instead, it's making sure the person who eats them feels the birthday blessing. Some people just aren't skilled enough to make noodles like you do. However, I can still use ready-made noodles to bring birthday blessings to myself or my family. That's the real meaning of longevity noodles, anyway. See how yellow and shiny these noodles are? They look more lively than yours, right? Of course, yes, I'm taking shortcuts with this dish. You mentioned birthday blessings. Do you think people can taste that in your noodles? I think so. Last night, after I finally made a proper bowl of noodles for the first time, I shared them with Xingqiu. We felt so happy when eating it. I even caught Xingqiu wiping away tears. Swapping out the noodles and then adjusting the oil and salt ratios accordingly. Quite some innovation there. Xingqiu sure has a sharp palate. But the ready-made noodles need to be rinsed with cold water after cooking. You rinsed them, but you didn't drain all the cold water out. The cold water lowered the temperature of the soup, which also affected the texture of the noodles. If you really want to make good food, you need to be mindful of these little details. I like how he could tell all that. Got it. I'll remember that. Wait, then you mean? Enough, I'm only continuing to teach you because I can see you've put in the effort. You still need to learn how to make your own noodles from scratch. You don't really expect us to use ready-made noodles in the competition, do you? Great. As your Shifu, I'm glad that you improved, but we still have to see whether the customers recognize your efforts. Well, what do we do? Later on, if anyone orders noodles, you'll be making them. If the customer doesn't like the noodles, then you'll need to keep practicing. I'm on it. I want noodles. Hello, would you like to try special longevity noodles? Okay, what would be the equivalent of longevity noodles? As a dish to order. That's easy to order. That most places will probably have. Cause I want some. It's not my birthday. Why would I want longevity noodles? It's a new dish you're trying out. We'll give it to you for free. No, I meant, if you try it and like it, then maybe you should still pay for it. I mean, I still have to settle up with the boss, you know? That's an interesting way to do business. Sure, give me that bowl of noodles then. Your eyes. Do you need something else from me? No, I just want to see how you like the noodles. Okay, I'll give them a try. The man picks up one single noodle using his chopsticks. One single noodle, dude! Then a piece of bok choy and some scallions. He tries them one after another. Okay, so it's a noodle dish with some veggies in it. He eats with the graceful manners, but somehow, in just a few moments' time, the entire bowl's empty. What do you think? Good. Even excellent. Really? The soup has a rich umami taste, and the ingredients are top-notch. If you let the soup simmer for another day or so, it might have tasted even better. But I was already so hungry. If I tried to wait another day for that ultimate perfection, I would have starved. He wants to create the perfect taste, but the customer cannot wait that long. Even if I want to wait for him, there are some things that I just can't wait for any longer. You're saying? Don't worry about it. Just tell your boss what I said, yeah? The man stands up. The patterns on his clothes emit a strange glow. The light distorts and blurs on his face. The light distorts and blurs his face. So much so that Blaze cannot make out what he looks like. I love the thought of wearing clothes that censors your face. That sounds fun. Ooh. Hey, you didn't pay. Ah, Tim. It's he. Just deduct the funds from my account. Regardless of what you're looking for, after you leave here, do not tell anyone you got this file from the academy. Do you understand? Yes. What's wrong? Do you have more questions? Do you remember that bloody case back in 1062? This isn't the sort of thing you casually bring up in a conversation. I just happened to think of it. Is the Grand Preceptor you previously mentioned, the one who supported the academic reforms which benefited countless poor students, the same Grand Preceptor who murdered the Emperor and plotted treason 40 years ago? I have no way to answer your question. I will never speak of things that I do not know. I've never met the Grand Preceptor in person, but I've read some of her writings on political and social issues. Her extensive knowledge, clearly reflected in her works, have been deeply enriching for me. But people are complicated and cannot be easily categorized. You're saying you're not completely convinced that the outcome of that case was correct? Xingyan, you're never good at hiding what you're thinking. I knew you would. The office's archives will not house muddled cases, no matter how many people they involve. Solving those cases is my duty as deputy minister. I shall not dissuade you from doing as you see fit. However, you must learn to protect yourself no matter what happens. Before your parents retreated into seclusion in the mountains, they entrusted me with looking after you. If anything were to happen to you, I would never be able to look them in the eyes again. I'm not a child. Why do I need people to take care of me? Everyone feels that way when they're young. However, as a mother, watching Zuole grow up day by day, I feel a weight growing in my heart. What else should we parents worry about other than our children's safety? But if your parents learned that I prevented you from fulfilling your duties out of concern for your safety, then they really would blame me. Duoxie, sister. You call me your sister, but in my eyes, you've always been like a child of my son's generation. Speaking of which, Yuan is nearby Zhao now. Have you seen General Zhuo at all over the past few days? Things are coming to a head. The Ministry of War is holding meetings day and night, and the General must remain on the front lines to oversee things personally. Neither he nor I can abandon our posts. There's truly no way to avoid this conflict. This isn't something I have the authority to decide. As an advisor for the Ministry of War, my job is to do everything in my power to accurately calculate the outcomes of the war. Allowing any personal biases to affect my work would be a grave disservice to the people of Yan. You don't compromise in your duties, and neither do I. I hope everything goes smoothly. If the outcome is inevitable, it's best not to worry too much about it. If you're alone for the Mid-Autumn Festival, come to my home for dinner. I will. Wait, I just thought of something. Didn't you just ask me who was authority to alter the Academy's records? That did happen once, although it was under extremely unusual circumstances. You mean... No, I can't say that the records were ever altered. However, if a record has gone missing entirely, then it must have been transferred to another location. Death Row at the Ministry of Justice. Death Row? Of all the places. Yeah. They contributed, but their name is taboo. Father is not here? It's been more than 6 months since he was last here. The furnishings in the house have not changed. Only there are many more symbols symbolizing war on the sand table. A lone city stands in defiance, the two sides gazing at each other from afar. Lord Zuo. A thick, familiar voice rings out from behind. Uncle Taihei, your injuries? I was finally able to walk since 2 weeks ago, albeit with some difficulty. At least I'm no longer bedridden. Zule stares at Taihei unbelievably, who does not look like the man he remembers. The wind lifts a corner of his cloak, revealing his thin, withered figure under his wide robe. Taihei, once a man so strong and sturdy, is now emaciated. It's as if a mere gust of wind could blow him away. Okay, just based on his sprite, he still looks really buff, so just imagining him being like super duper thin underneath is just... huh? Uncle Taihei. Kung Fu is merely an external tool. I am, after all, still monitor censor of the Department of Discipline and Supervision, and there will always be opportunities to realize my aspirations.
If you continue to dwell on this, Lord Zuo, then you're only underestimating my skills. No. Taihei, I know you're no ordinary man. A few injuries aren't enough to stop you. It's been over 6 months since we last met. You look stronger than before. The general will be pleased. By the way, father is... The general has been in constant meetings with the Sui regulator and the Ministry of War. He's barely had 10 minutes to rest. The situation could change in an instant. Is the court still ready to go to war at all costs? Now, after the incident in Dahuang, the bestial Sui is no longer under the Sui regulator's control. There are some minor disagreements between the cabinet and the six ministries, but their overall opinion is clear. Eliminate the threat once and for all.
Hey, hello, good evening.
But the consequences of this war will be...
These siblings. I want to keep them all. Look at them.
I heard that 1 month ago, other candle holders discovered traces of the convict nearby Zhao. Yes, I heard the same thing. The Imperial Court is on high alert. They've already dispatched several units of Imperial Guards. The Imperial Guards. The convict's unpredictability is currently the gravest threat we face. I have a theory, perhaps. There is still another proxy in Baizhou. This proxy is the youngest and the most unique. According to the Sui regulator's observations, in the hundreds of years since he left the tomb, he has never used any of his powers. The Sui regulator does not know how to deal with them. There's only one thing that's a little suspicious. 100 years ago, after Wang escaped from prison, he came to Baizhou and remained here ever since. Wang used to frequently interact with other proxies, so I'm afraid that during his current return to Baizhou, the lone proxy who stayed here would also be a part of his plan. What do you plan to do? I don't know yet, so I'm going to go take a look. And see for myself.
Okay, so there's Ji, Jia, and Wang. Phew, finished. What do you think? I memorized every step, from washing the vegetables to serving the noodles. I can do this all by myself now. Of course, it's all thanks to Xingzu for figuring out the genius solution. I just need to dip my hands in the ice water for 5 minutes before kneading the dough, and it comes out fine. It looks good, and I can taste the craftsmanship in this dish.
It'll do, even if it's far from perfect. If anyone could cook as well as me after just a few classes, then all my years of study would be in vain.
Hey, I've been working hard for so long, and tomorrow's a big day. Can't you at least say something encouraging?
I just don't want you to get a big head. Alright, maybe you're right. A little pep talk might do you good. Otherwise, you'd be too scared to cook the minute you meet both Mobufu. Remember, there's nothing to be afraid of. Mobufu is old. Show him the power of your youth.
Okay. Everything's ready. Let's go win one at the Ding Feng Lo tomorrow. Ooh. Competition time. Pickled potherb mustard. Or pot herb mustard. And let's go. No fear. Welcome to Ding Feng Lo. Oh, it looks fancy in here. Wow. So this is the place everyone's been talking about. Are you nervous? Huh? Don't think I should be. The competition is nigh, and yet I feel apprehensive somehow. I mean, nothing to fear. The young chef said it's fine. It was fine. Besides, it's not like we're trying to be cooks here. We're just in the hunt for that legendary chef, right? To ask him for his tangerine cake recipe. Cold comfort, but I suppose at this point, it's all I'm getting.
about time. All spectators, please remain here for now. Competitors, follow me.
If you get anything difficult thrown at you, don't bluster. Just keep calm and think. There's always a way. Relax, okay? I'll see you.
Please sit. Well, I know you're here for the exam. You're still one of the guests, our guests. Please let me offer you some tea first.
The examiner picks up the teapot from the table and pours Blaze some tea. Her nose is immediately filled with a fresh, sweet scent. For competition, you're all being pretty friendly here. Well, can't say I haven't been thirsty, thanks. Blaze grabs the teacup and drinks it up. As she does, the examiner places a pen and paper before her.
This pot of tea is infused with several ingredients. Please write them down.
First test. Oh no. It's like, whoops, I hope she savored the flavor. Uh-oh. What? Blaze glances down at her cup. Not but a bead of tea left on the side. She looks up at the examiner, polite smile still plastered over his face. It's like, may I please have another cup? Could I, have another cup? Oops.
Today looks like a bust to me. They've gone through dozens of people since morning, and nobody's even passed the first stage.
But our head chef is being too harsh on them. It's like a revolving door over there. No one can last longer than a minute.
A chef's third eye is their tongue. If their tongue's not good enough, they can't be that good a chef. So no point wasting the head chef's time if they can't even pass stage 1. May as well send him home sooner. Hey, excuse me, madam. This is the kitchen. Are you... Judicial Review Office investigation. If I could have both of your assistants.
Oh, it's gonna be funny if they meet each other here. It's like, wait a second, Blaze. Weren't you supposed to be on house arrest? Like, what are you doing here? Keep calm, keep calm. What did mechanics tell you? The human tongue can only taste 4 flavors, but the nose can tell difference to over 100. I mean, can tell between over 100. Not that I ever smelled anything from this machine oil moonshine, though. Blaze gingerly cradles her cooling teacup once more, and takes a careful sniff of what aroma remains. Smells flowery. That's probably jasmine. No, not just jasmine. There's a kind of... Right, chrysanthemum. Just like the table tea at the young chef's place. Okay, aside from that, there's definitely a sweet sour kind of flavor as I drank it. None of the initial flavors were sour, so what was that aftertaste? Sweet, acid, and a little puckery. Kind of familiar? Ooh, sounds like lemon. Or ume. Sheesh! What the heck is going on over there? Spooky. Hopefully power comes back. Why do you want me to try this plum wine anyway? Oh, so it is ume. Plum wine, umeshu. It's a specialty here in Baizhou, you see. There's a plum forest north of the city. When summer sets in June and the plums are fresh and ripe, the people pick them to steep in wine. Ideally, a Xiaohan wine. Wine made from mosotes like this just have a particular flavor to it. It goes perfect with plum. Steep it for about 3 months, and it's ready just in time for mid-autumn. Plum wine, huh? So it's got history? Earlier, you asked me what happened to all the people we lost building Baizhou, right? I wouldn't say it's got history, really. It just strikes me. During those awful times back then, pickled plums were a worker's staple. Ooh, I love pickled plums. Ume. Ume is addicting. And some years after finishing Baizhou, the plum forest sprang up in the mountains north of us. No one knows exactly when it did, nor who planted it. So it's a way of remembering them, kind of? At least, they were never forgotten. Once the plums are ripe next year, we can go to the mountains to see together. Ooh, the drama in your neighborhood. Are you gonna... Wait, I was gonna say, are you gonna make some popcorn? But if there's no power, gosh darn it. Here's my answer.
Jasmine, chrysanthemum, green plum, Mount Tian blossom, rock sugar, Xiaohan wine.
I've heard there's a plum forest north of Baizhou. The plums in June get brewed for mid-autumn. I'm guessing the plums in this were picked earlier than that, which is why there's still a mouth-puckering taste in it. The alcohol steamed away while boiling the tea, and left just the sweet sourness of the plum, plus the mild and subtle aroma of from the flower. It wasn't obvious when I drank it down, but the aftertaste really stays with you. I'd really like another cup.
Identifying the first few flavors is reasonable enough, but you're the first one today who's been able to point out the use of Xiaohan wine.
So, I'm right?
Are you not sure about your own answer?
No, of course not. Of course I don't.
Then congratulations on passing the first stage. Please, follow me upstairs.
From the rear hall sounds a gong, and the doors next to Blaze yawn open. I like how they celebrate her winning with a gong. So congratulations! First stage? How long is this thing? I wonder what the next stage is. Here you are, madam, the list of chefs at Ding Feng Lo. If you don't mind me asking, what are you investigating exactly? The case is confidential. I'm not at leisure to tell you for now. Okay. The head chef here, their name is Mo Bufu? Yes, I don't think there's a cook in Baizhou who doesn't know of Chef Mo. Do you know what his occupation was prior to do you know what his occupation was prior to Ding Feng Lo? That I have no idea. Chef Mo arrived just under 10 years ago. Not quite a long time, but not sure either. His cooking skills are the real deal. They're sublime. Almost straight away, he succeeded the previous head chef. Where's he now? I need to see him. I'm really sorry, but he's holding an exam right this moment. There's no way he can meet you. Exam? What exam? You could call it an enrollment exam for Ding Feng Lo. It only happens once every few years. If you're interested, we're televising it right here. That contestant. Blaze? Isn't this a restaurant? How come this room's set up like a study?
In its centuries of history, Ding Feng Lo has hosted countless reputed celebrities. We set aside this room to safekeep any pieces of calligraphy or paintings gifted by them. Delicacies, calligraphies, paintings are all works of art that take years of practicing.
Blaze looks up and around, hundreds upon thousands of silk threads hang from the ceiling. A wooden placard tied to each one, resembling a curtain. All of these are names of dishes.
As you're no doubt aware, Ding Feng Lo is hiring chefs in the run-up to the Feast of 100 Delicacies. This calls for cooks who are not only culinarily skilled, but who grasp the significance behind the dishes they make. Every dish here originates from a past feast of 100 delicacies. Pick one placard and tell me the dish's history. That is today's second stage.
You have to also be a historian here. From the feasts? How the hell should I know any of these? Sheesh. Oh, tonight, more Kamen Rider. Whatever. I've gotten this far. Blaze closes her eyes and swipes one down. The neighboring placards clatter against each other, as if an endless wind chime. What's this? Medley of whites? Blaze barely knows how to cook anything. Passing the first stage was already a miracle. She spent basically her whole life in Victoria. How could she possibly know any of these stories? Blaze, I really wish I could help you.
You have a time limit. Do you know the origin of this dish?
About 50 years ago, give or take, Yan's Grand Preceptor presented the true lung with a dish, the simplest, plainest, stewed radishes. But the special thing was, the radishes she used from juice came from all over the land, and each one had a massively different flavor and texture. But having been stewed for long enough, they absorbed enough broth and were all equally tasty. I hear Yans always put education first, but because the country's so big, and every city has wildly different circumstances anyway, the farther out you go, the harder it is for students to really achieve. The Grand Preceptor was trying to tell the True Lung that every student, no matter their background, could have equal opportunity. The True Lung took the Grand Preceptor's advice, advocated hard for educational reform, tore down any regional restrictions, and brought equality to educational resources. Wow, it's so nice. I like that. I like how they're like, dang, you know what? Your dish has such great meaning. I'ma do it. Like, sure. Let's go for educational reform. The next year, when Baizhou Academy announced its successful applicants, students from remote regions made up more than half of the 1,000+ that qualified. In the decades after that, the Tianqis buried their bureau's books, the students studying like hell in their academies. All of them thanked the Grand Preceptor for boldly advising. That, if I'm not mistaken, is what the medley of whites represents. Blaze senses the spectators stop chattering. She's not wrong. Everyone is nervously watching her right this moment. How did Blaze know that? And why would the exam writer leave the name of this dish in there? You don't just mention her not in front of everyone. Ooh. Did I, say something wrong?
Interesting.
The voice stands from a few meters above. Blaze stares up above her, but doesn't see anyone. A foot lands on a stair step, planked with a dull thud, subdued yet powerful, the kind nobody could miss. I like how this is kind of a test, though, like, a different kind of test in a way, too. They probably left that one in just because they want to catch a certain person. It's like, who would be so bold as to tell the meaning behind this dish? Like, it's taboo to mention this one lady, so... Tee-hee-hee? It approaches closer and closer until Blaze can finally make out who it is. A stern and solemn man, far older than her. A lady from his long stairwell.
After so many years, I didn't think anyone would remember this.
Nice to meet you.
The story you've told is far older than you, girl. How come you know it?
Well, someone from my family told me it a long time ago. He said he was one of those students in poverty, all the way back then.
To know the spring of your water, I imagine your relative was a grateful and righteous man. But as for you, just what motive brought you here?
Well, I'm here to compete, of course. I know, right? Like, he looks fine for his age. Like good for you, Mobufu. He probably washes his face with the rice water every day. Good for the skin.
Seeing as you've made it here, I'll give you one chance. Final stage, no frills, no fuss. Make me a dish. Come.
I wonder how many stages she skipped. I feel like there was probably more after that. But he's like, you know what? You answer the thing that I want to hear, so... let's just skip all the other stages. Too early for dinner time, the restaurant is almost empty save for a couple of diners. There's no waiters, no proprietor, and even the kitchen is quiet.
Excuse me. You, young man, help me out. I was in a hurry this morning and forgot my money. You're a well-to-do boy. Anyone can tell. Be a kind man, spot me a little. I'm not here to rip you off. Here, take this family jade for now. Once I grab the money later, I'll pay you back. Not that I mind lending you, but couldn't you just tell the owner instead? We're total strangers. How would you find me and pay me back? No, you see, this jade's not your average thing. It's not fit for just anyone to take. I'm only entrusting it to you because I can tell. You got a rare air about you. Alright.
Zuli rummages for some loose coins in his pocket and hands them to the diner, whose face immediately broadens with delight.
When do you plan to pay me back? Where will we meet? We'll meet if we do, and we...
Wow.
We'll meet if we do, and we won't if we don't. And if we don't, you can just go ahead and pawn this jade off. Relax, relax. You've made a favorable deal today, young sir.
So saying, the diner is gone out of the restaurant, door in a blink, disappearing into the crowds.
Pawn it off?
I hope that's not a stolen jade. Uh-oh. There's my dish. Pretty good job, wouldn't you say?
Longevity noodles.
Mobufu's hands rest on the table, chopsticks in his grasp. For a while, silence, before he finally picks up the spoon and tries a mouthful of soup. Blaze examines Chef Mo's face closely, but the satisfied look she's hoping for simply does not blossom across the old man's face.
These noodles. The soup base. Who taught you this?
It was this tiny little chef. I really put my back into learning it too.
The owner of Savers at U's. Who is he to you?
How come you know?
I thought so. The disgrace of him!
Huh?
I see his talent and give him the chance to display his skills. He's not grateful for that, fine. But now he even sends an amateur to humiliate me.
Uh-oh. That's not good. What's happening? Blaze finished it up with no trouble. Nothing should be wrong with the flavor. Does Mobufu know the young chef somehow? He's so triggered. Wait, okay, hold on. I'm sorry, I know you can probably tell I suck at cooking at a glance, but I didn't come so I could wreck your competition. I just have a question that only you can answer. I grew up in Victoria, see, and this relative of mine who lived far away in Yan would always send me these tangerine cakes. They were so sweet and tasty. I've been on the hunt ever since I came to Baizhou, but I still haven't found that flavor. I was thinking, since you're the best chef in all of Baizhou, maybe you would know. Maybe you would know.
A single pastry. You thought it was worth entering this competition to meet me over a single pastry?
I have tons of other questions still, but this is the only one I can solve on my own. This is the one clue, the one link I have to my family.
You. The greatest taboo in making tangerine cakes is to blindly add sugar, that is, to mask the poorness of your craft and ingredients with sweetness. I don't know of anyone skilled enough to make tangerine cakes that are sweet and yet taste good on their own. You've asked your question, now go.
Wait! A muffled sound from above interrupts the two. Blaze and Mobufu look up at the same time, but both their faces get struck by something wet.
Why is it leaking in here?
No, this is oil. Uh-oh. And the moment she says it, the lamp suspended from the dome ignites in a blink, becoming a fireball. Get out of here. And the way this is being televised still, right? Like, yo, imagine seeing this. Like, oh, the drama of this cooking competition. This is totally planned, right? And okay, no fear. This is fine. G1920. Okay, all good. Oh, look at it circling. Forethought. 2, 3, 4. No, not right there. Right there's good. Go get him. Get that forethought. Over here looks good. You know, right over here seems good too. I can get those guys from a distance, so it's fine. I tee. All is well. No fear. I was hoping they'd start coming out more. I'm wasting Susie's skill. Oops. You might as well use this thing. Ta-da! Come out wherever you are, enemies, please. Enemy, please. Stare. Okay, this is fine now.
Mission
Ta-da! Watch out!
What even?
Flames burst forth from above their heads, raining cinders down from the ceiling, igniting the flour and oil atop the stove. In an instant, the kitchen is a sea of fire.
You, go. I'll be fine.
Cover your mouth and nose, don't talk. I'm not too good with this move yet. Let's give it a try. Excuse me, just suck. Blaze grabs a knife and slices her palm open. Gradually, a whirlwind forms in Blaze's hand, then expands straight outward into a blast wave. The violent surge of air sweeps the whole room. In a blink, she's put the fires out and strewn the cookware about in shambles.
What a skill you have. Could you be? Dossier.
You're welcome. Looking up again, Blaze sees that the lamp's frame is charred black, red-hot metal peeking through the burnt coating. It's on the verge of falling. Mobufu, move! Blaze grabs the old man's arm, trying to pull him to one side, but the lamp's already falling. With a stifled crack of thunder, the remains of the fixture are abruptly flung to one side and smash hard against the wall. Are you right there? Lazy, what are you doing here? Maybe I should ask, what are you doing here? But we can talk about you later. Could this be a repeat of the Dingfeng Low fire of last month? Lin Qingyan scans her surroundings. The kitchen chefs are in a frenzied jumble, but her gaze quickly locks onto the masked figure among them, who seems to meet her gaze and turns and vanishes into the crowd. Ooh? Assassination attempt? Blaze, stay here. Keep Mobufu safe. Hey, where are you going? Jeez, the smoke is killing me.
On the pillar there's a breaker.
There's a lot of them here. Which one do we pull? Flitting like a fowl, Lin Qingyan has her target cornered in just a few spry leaps. Mere meters separate them, but it's so smoky is the air that she can't quite make out their silhouette. Just as she makes to run again, a thunderclap strikes next to his feet. Hold it. Move another inch, and the next bolt is hitting your head. Answer my questions. Why set fire to Dingfeng Low? Is your target Mobufu or someone else? All the previous incidents, they were doing too, weren't they? Also, the scrollery? You and your accomplices must have some aim in all these actions. What is it? Not talking? Then I'll take you back to the Judicial Review office for a nice long questioning. Well, her father did go to that one college. So even if it's not common knowledge, he did go to the special place. He probably studied at the library a lot. So if anything, Dad probably told her.
Deputy Minister Lin. Surely you wouldn't ask if you didn't know the answer already. Can you not see the truth, or do you simply pretend you can't because you don't dare to? What? The office is a good place, but I don't plan on visiting it for now. Besides, when your will wavers, the thunder you throw isn't so frightening. It's time you opened your eyes. Wait. And with that, the masked figure is on the move. Just as Lin Qingyan would give chase, the ceiling sprinklers start out of nowhere. Ice cold water pours down, soaking her head to foot. Lazy, you right? Damn it. The customers are all safely out of the way. There's just a few in shock. Thank goodness no one was injured. We reported it to the authorities. The mandarin should be here any moment. Don't we have a Mandarin here already? Head chef, I'm fine. I owe to this girl. There's nothing left for you to do here. Go on, go home.
Once the chefs leave, Lin Qingyan locks the door to the room. Mr. Mo, if I could have a word or two with you.
You know this girl, madam?
She's a friend of mine. Chef Mo, she's on the trail of a really important case. Would it be alright if you, try to answer her questions?
Humph. I don't like what the Mandarins get up to, but I don't like to spurn a favor either. You saved my life today, and that's more favor than I'll ever repay.
Hello, hello.
Go ahead. Go ahead then, ask away.
I'm looking for one of your restaurant chefs. He's a witness in a case. I believe 10 years ago, he was working in the Ministry of Justice, death row prison, making last meals for convicts. A chef who only makes last meals? How exactly did he pass the Ding Feng Lo exams? Ding Feng Lo serves all manner of mandarins every year at the Feast of 100 Delicacies. That means every chef's background must be clear as day for the record. I imagine he shouldn't be hard to find.
What exactly do you want me to say, madam? First, my restaurant catches fire for no reason. Now you see we have a chef who made meals for a dead man. Should I even bother to open Ding Feng Lo again?
I understand your situation, sir. That's why I'm choosing to ask you these things in private.
Whatever. It's not like I can't admit to my own past. The chef you're looking for, the death row caterer, Mo Xiaoliu. That was me.
What? I thought so.
And making last meals is nothing shameful. The powerful need to eat, and so do the powerless. My cooking skills come from the prison, making last meals for death row convicts from all corners of the country.
Yo, they must have had the best last meals in that case. He literally sent them to heaven with his cooking.
As for changing my name and hiding my identity, I just didn't want to make any trouble for this restaurant.
I'm beginning to sort of admire you. Do you remember 10 years ago, a convict admitted to the prison by the name of Gu Tuan? If you don't remember the name, you should at least remember that some decades ago, he was the one and only person to be released from death row. What? Wait, you mean my dad? Why did my dad get the death penalty? Blaze.
You mean Gu Tuan? He was your father?
Blaze, you're not supposed to say that. That's one of your 3 rules. Yeah.
So you remember him? I do, all too well. I spent so many years in there making last meals. I met countless horrific scoundrels, endless connivers. As each one of them ate before they left, the look in their eyes, it was always more or less the same. But I'd never seen someone whose eyes were so clear, so clean, so free of anything. He wasn't like the other convicts. In his time, he never wept, never howled, and never screamed injustice, not even on the day he was imprisoned. Even I found it strange how a man like him could end up on death row.
Why would my dad? Then do you know at the time what charges Gu Chuan was sentenced to death on?
Not at the time.
Not at the time?
But 1 year later, when I joined Ding Feng Lo and began taking part in the Feast of 100 Delicacies, I came across a menu for the feast from a few years before. That was when I learned that, at the feast, Gu Chuan served a dish to the true lung. It just so happens that it was the same dish this girl pulled out earlier. Medley of whites.
Oh. Daddy did that.
But next to that dish, he placed a steamed flour bun, and in it was a filling of red pickled tofu.
So, what does it mean? Why would he get locked up just for serving that? Lin Qingyan, are you gonna say anything?
Your relative told you the story of the great preceptor, but never told you her eventual fate.
Her fate? 40 years ago, the Grand Preceptor plotted to assassinate the True Lung. She committed suicide after it failed. Every single one of her underlings was arrested and trialed, and the numbers were over 1,000.
When Gu Chuan served the dish at the feast, it signified redressing her for a treason. It made the True Lung furious.
No way! My dad told me so many times the Grand Preceptor was loyal to the country, the people, the whole realm. How the hell could she be a traitor? The history books have it that way, yes. And they're right? Lynching Yan, if everything written in them is true, what the hell are you investigating? And besides, my dad didn't actually get killed, right? Doesn't that prove, like, at least some people from the court believe the Grand Preceptor and my dad were both innocent? That's a sticking point, yes. If Guchuan was in prison as part of the Grand Preceptor case, why would they free him afterwards?
It stuck with me too. You see, after entering prison, Guchuan had 2 visitors, and both are people I happen to know.
Hey, hello. For rules, I have that in my bio. Or in the summary thingy.
One was a person delivering his meal, Yu Cheng, former deputy of the deputy minister of the office at the time.
Yu Cheng?
And the other was the one who brought him out, former minister of rights, Ning Shu.
What? Quick, this way. Surround the place immediately. Damn it, why now? What a coincidence. One step ahead of me, Deputy Minister Lin. I just arrived. A coincidence indeed. The Judicial Review Office is investigating the Dingfeng Low fire. I ask all of you to be cooperative. Lin Qingyan and the girl next to you, come with me.
よかったわね、ドクターくん。
Yeah. So Guchuan was probably a part of the Grand Preceptor's crew. And now time to steer a tiny bit. What does this map look like? Honey herbal tea. Sounds delicious. I want the honey herbal tea. Let's see how this goes. No fear, no pain. I'm just putting Myrtle there because why not? Okay, time for thorns. Thorns' other skin looks great too, but I love the thought of him shopping. The thought of him going on a nice shopping spree is just too funny to me. I don't know why. And this works out nicely so far. Okay, right here. Next, please. Right here. Go get him. And just in case, healers are always good. I see they haven't been putting out healers. Hey, hello. The sound is cute. And ooh, I can use this thing now. Wait, I'm gonna wait for enemies to come out. There. But yeah, since we know what Blaze's dad is like, it makes me even more curious about Mama. Like, was Mama just an ordinary person, or was she also, like, someone involved in this kind of things?
Mission accomplished.
Nice. Roast the chestnut. Try to crack the chestnut with brute force, and you will only hurt yourself. Dip one in oil, another in water, place them in a pot, cover with the rest of the chestnuts, and roast them over fire. You will know when they are ready when you hear a thundering crack. Oh, I love roasted chestnuts. They're so good. I haven't had fresh chestnuts in so long. Let someone better take over. Haha, if father heard that, I'm sure he'd be chewing your head off. Don't joke with me, brother. Of all his siblings, who could compare to you in either knowledge or strength? Once you ascend the throne and move into the Forbidden City, I can leave for the Sky Mirror Pavilion with peace of mind. I'll set up shop as a scribe and look after all of Yan's ancient records. In a way, I'll also take some weight off your shoulders. Brother, no more hesitating. At this point, only you can convince father. The Grand Preceptor, no, all three Grand Ministers support this move. Even in the face of the officers of Yan citizens, public opinion will still bear out. Brother, this is the right thing to do. You can't pull out now. I'll stand with you. Why me? Why did it have to be me? Our youngest brother died because of you. They all died because of you. You shove it all on me, make me take the blame alone, deal with the whole warring mess alone, and you just leave me like nothing happened? Yanwu, never return again. Yanwu. Yanwu. Look how idle you are. All the mid-autumn festivities in Lungmen, and you don't plan to attend a single one?
Should I? Who wants to see my wrinkly mug on their TV anyway? The Schweier's girl is a planner. She'll handle it. She can make anything lively.
I've watched you grow lazier day after day since we came back from Yumen. You just coop up in your study at home, eating snacks. If you don't go out for a walk anytime soon, you might as well just start putting on a beer belly.
Ha ha! I haven't seen Lin Kojui get out much since spring. I can't even find a partner for morning jogs now. Ah, he's old. I'm old. The young ones know how to do it all. If I keep sticking my head in, they won't think I'm cool.
So now you understand, huh? If you'd realized any sooner, would little Chen have ever left? How long ago was it?
Sorry, what?
Little Chen, how long ago has it been since she left?
5 years.
It's been 5 years. We don't even know what she's going through out there or how her disease is. Chen, maybe we should send a letter. Or call.
I know she was a human when I was there. She's doing fine. Her swordsmanship's progress, so she's fine, I suppose.
So, you just watched her leave again?
She doesn't want to see me, and she doesn't want to come back. I can't force her. Don't worry, her path's longer than ours. Lord Wei, a letter to you. That they made you deliver personally. It's from the capital.
The sender?
His Majesty's Imperial Guard.
Did you have any message aside from the letter?
The Trulong invites Lord Wei to the capital for the Feast of 100 Delicacies, and for a moon viewing together. Leave the letter on my desk. You're dismissed for now. If we may ask what Lord Wei intends. I have my own plans. None of you need to worry. Lord Wei, we volunteer to escort you to the capital. I said you're dismissed.
Why don't we open up the invitation? Why don't we open up your invitation and see what they wrote exactly?
No need. Just leave it there. This day was meant to come. I even thought it'd come a little sooner.
How many years has it been?
40. It's been 40 whole years since I left Baizhou. Yumin should have reached the capital by now. I suppose my brother's settling all his old debts in one clean go. A clean slate in time for autumn. A fine autumn at that.
You can choose not to go. It's been 40 years already. What's he going to do? Send another unit of Imperial Guards? A whole army?
Enough nonsense. At this point, it's not what he intends.
Then what does he intend?
You know, I've never really brought up those days with him before.
Enough. I don't want to hear it.
Fumizuki, I've let down a lot of people throughout my life. Edward, my sister, my teacher. And I have to admit that my brothers turned out to be one more on the pile.
You can also say that it was a position that's killed so many people.
And who had a choice?
Then it wasn't your fault. Even if you stayed, would things have turned out better? Would there be no blood? Nobody would have remembered a minister pleading the commoner's case. They would have only remembered a fratricidal prince. I guess so. He must have been he's related to them. Fumizuki did say prince. If you have questions, ask. I'm in a hurry. Mind your attitude. You're also a theoretical suspect in our crime scene, but seeing as you're a coworker, I'll spare you the interrogation room. I told you, I saw the culprit on the scene. I just miscalculated and failed to arrest him. Calm down. Are you going to physically vent on me just because you didn't catch the one who did it? I'd have to match your strength first. Good, you're still somewhat sober. Wait, Chen-che, how scarily buff are you? In light of the years we spent together in the judicial, then, can you tell me? This afternoon, where were you at Dingfeng Lo, the scene of the crime? Investigation. In the run-up to the Feast of 100 Delicacies, we had the scrollery be burned and the 2 fires at Dingfeng Lo. Don't you think this string of cases could be connected somehow? So you're saying you knew beforehand that someone would set fire to Dingfeng Lo today, and thus you were lying in wait for them? I was just there following up on a lead. Just there following up on a lead. Do you need me to list off every action you've taken the last few days? You've been telling me? I don't have that sort of time. I don't have that sort of free time. But I have ways of knowing these things naturally. Let me ask once more. Who are you meeting at Dingfeng Lo today? I fear I'm not the only one working on the sly. Explain? For your information, you never told me the Ministry of Rights files on Guchuan were forged, and that he was sent to death row before leaving Baizhou. As a minister, you must have known these things. These are all clearly key points of evidence. Why would they know where to be found in the Judicial Review Office archives? And why would you cover up? So this is the lead in the scrollery fire that you've been toiling over for the last few days? How did you find any of this out? It's none of your concern how I found out. There's a piece of evidence I gave to Yu Chang in the past, and I'll give it to you now. Some past affairs are learned of, some are not learned of. In both cases, there are reasons why. Some things are best left forgotten by all. I never imagined I'd hear those words from a minister. You may consider me a schemer all you like, a minister merely booted over from the Ministry of Justice. But I know exactly what I'm saying. And I know that regardless of the thousands of reasons you might have, the truth is still and merely the truth, not anyone's tool to broaden the divide. There'll always be someone who remembers the truth, and the meaning behind it. For example, that girl shut up in the next room. Who he took every pain to secretly bring back to Baizhou all the way from Victoria? Yes, I didn't cover that Guchuan had a daughter in Victoria. She too can provide a vital testimony on the Guchuan case. Lin Qingyan, when we stop playing dumb, you've already found out that the Guchuan files are fake. You know Yu Chang is on the trail of that very case. So I'm guessing you've also found out about the child who the Imperial Guard brought back 40 years ago, who they recorded in the case files as deceased. Your suspicions as to the truth of the case, correct? Was the girl you brought back here born in Victoria or born in Baizhou? You know full well. You clearly long suspected her identity, and still you decided to bring her back. Were you that confident you could pull this off without a hitch? Or was it that in pursuit of the truth, you didn't even care if she lived or died? You're threatening me. You think I'm joking? Lin Qingyan's gaze fixes tight on the minister's notes. She doesn't even notice how her own attire is soaked through in cold sweat. But in the next instant, with a bizarre warping of light, the paper in her hands vanishes. But back on topic, that's not what I care about. At least, right now, it's not what I care most about. I've told you, past affairs are never as important as the present. So what are these present affairs of yours? You know that Yumin is less than 100 li from Baizhou right now. For 3 months, Baizhou has been preparing to split up and move. And how does it relate to the Guchuan case? Should you keep investigating this case, there'll only be one person in all of Yan who can give you your answers. Xingyan, take one step out the store and I can no longer protect you, let alone her.
At the Chenzo place, in the study there's a secret closet. After I leave, go there and take what's inside. Follow those instructions and you can protect Lungman's safety and your own.
So you're going?
Now's the perfect time to. Kojui's girl is doing a great job handling the downtown, and the Schweier's future doesn't rest on the sick old tiger anymore. Lungman doesn't need a Wei Yanwu anymore, or a chief executive.
I think you're giving your last words a little too early.
This is about Lungman's future, Fumizuki. Listen to me. I've made a lot of mistakes, done a lot of things I regret, but Lungman, our city, built by us, a home to millions. Lungman must stay.
Then you stay too and take care of it. Youngsters can handle it all, but it still needs some oldies to look after it.
You see this letter too. How am I meant to ignore this?
So once again you'll just roll over and die, just like the last thing you pay with your life. Is that how you're envisioning it? Does it make anything even?
It's different this time. There's no one standing on the other side. I'm just facing my own depths. I made a choice 40 years ago, and ever since, with every action I take, I try to convince myself that even knowing how many people I've failed, I was still right to make that choice. But I can't run forever.
You know, your life's never been yours alone. Not then, and certainly not now. Forget about sacrificing yourself to make up for anything. You can't make up for a mistake with another mistake. It never ends that way, at your age, at our age. We should have already learned that lesson well. Over their past conversation? It is pretty interesting though how... Like Chen, she seems to know everything that's going on. Especially with the whole, like, if you take one step out the store, I can no longer protect you. Like, ooh. The plot is thickening even more. Stay, we'll face it together.
Mizuki, don't try to stop me. You cannot stop me, paying for my past.
Well then, you leave me with no other choice. While I'm stood here, you're not going anywhere. Dang, Mizuki. Yenwu, this time I'll protect you, I swear it. Did you just knock him out? Fumizuki? Girl? Lazy. You're alright? Of course I'm alright. All the judicial lady asked was what I saw during the fire. I just told the truth. I didn't see anything, so she let me go. The heck did you do? How come it took so long? It doesn't matter now. Let's go. I know, right? Wei Yun was so lucky. Fumizuki is loyal. Wait. Go why? The Mobufu clearly has tons of answers. Are we gonna follow up with them? There's nothing to follow up on. Pardon? I'm not meddling with your father's case anymore. I'll get you out of Baizhou in the next day or two. Lin Jingyan, that's one stupid joke to tell now, you know that? No wait, you just found a new lead, didn't you? That's why you're just screwing with me. Okay, now for real. Tell me what you found or... Blaze. I got the official debriefing from the judicial case files. Guchuan, an ethnic Guyanese from Victoria, joined the Ministry of Rights in 1077 as a ceremonial officer, reassigned as an envoy of ceremonial rights in 1092, headed for Victoria as a part of a diplomatic mission on the way encountered an unexpected snowstorm and passed away after falling into a river. What? Lazy, you're lying to me, aren't you? Just trying to shove me out of the picture again? You've been asking me just what the deal was with your father's death, haven't you? Well, every lead's been thoroughly investigated. There's no doubt, that's it. It was just an accident. All the gaps in the files have been made replete. This case can be closed. She's just trying to protect Blaze. In creeps the mid-autumn. The night sky is moonless. Out on the streets, the energy poles turn away at max output, but the drop in temperature is still noticeable to some. All falls still in the dead of night. The human sea recedes. The biting breeze blows through.
Achoo! If you're that cold, just turn on the heater. Easy for you to say. If we're going to keep running this shabby little eatery, we have to pinch every penny we can on warmth. Damn it, just look how late it is. When will Blaze and her friend show up? You're wondering about that reward money, huh? I'm not. Achoo! Is this window letting air in? I need to fix it later. Wait, are they back? You're... What, am I not allowed in? Please come inside. I'll put on some tea for you now. Anything to eat? Noodles. Longevity noodles. Right, I'll make you some now. One's made by your boss. Well...
Jin glances back at the staircase where a young chef had been standing, but now he's vanished without a trace.
He's out on business. Then I'll wait for him here. Far out. He won't be back for a fortnight. I'll still wait. I've waited 30 years. So long as I'm shriveled up. What's a little longer? Chef Mo, please don't joke around now. You're the first under heaven when it comes to cooking. What could be worth wasting your time here? Made. First under whose heaven?
Mobufu downs his teacup in one go. The hot tea spills from the corners of his mouth and drips down his wizened white beard.
I remember clearly that winter 30 years ago, a catastrophe wrecked my home village. Those of us lucky enough to survive took off. Me with nothing but my cooking skills. We thought, let's scrape by in Baizhou. We went through hell. We were almost there when we ran into another group of refugees. Or maybe a bandit gang, I'm not sure. They followed us for a long way across the icy waste, weapons in hand. We began to realize that they were after the remaining supplies and rations we had left.
I know the Imperial Guard. The ones in the black outfits.
By the time we'd been trekking for a month, plenty of us were sick or hurt. We'd barely scraps left to eat, far from enough for both sides to cross the wasteland. There was no escape, so we decided we may as well risk it all with them. However, when we were just about to go out fighting, we smelled something delicious. That's when we saw him. There was an old temple not far away from where we were. Someone set up a stove by the gateway, boiling up a wok of noodles. We couldn't see his face properly through all the steam. We had no clue when someone would be making noodles. We had no clue why someone would be making noodles there, but we were past the point of wondering, or of asking, even of fighting. That wonderful smell and those piping hot noodles drew all of us near the wok, and we waited around him quietly.
I love how they were all just having like a big on brawl, and then they smell something delicious. They're like, oh, wait a second. Pause. Hey guys, can we go check that out? Sure, let's go. Like, yummy.
Never before had I eaten something so delicious. The moment those noodles entered my mouth, I felt like my tongue had been numb for decades, only to spring back to life right then and there. All along, I never knew what a meal could taste so arresting, so absorbing. It felt like a flavor beyond us humans. By the time I finished my noodles and looked up from my bowl, he was gone. But who knew that in my lifetime studying as a cook, the most profound lesson I learned would be in a shack of a temple outside of Baizhou City. From then on, I apprenticed all over, so that one day I might make a bowl of noodles like those. But I couldn't. In the end, I just can't. You know, what if you're misremembering? I mean, look, you were starving at the time, and maybe that's why you found that bowl of noodles so tasty. Do you not trust my tongue? 30 years of bowl of noodles has been burned into my mind. 30 years I've been searching for it. If whoever that was still in Baizhou, he must be over 50 by now. I searched all over the city. The well-known tea maker in the north, nothing. The guy who made the best pastries in the south, still nothing. I searched and searched until my fellow oldies in cooking retired. And only I was left. I was on the verge of giving up, but today, once more, I tasted it. I don't know why. Her cooking skills were immature, but the noodles she brought forth tasted exactly like it. It was your chef here who taught her those noodles. Am I right? How do you know? Who sent out 100 written invitations for Jingfeng Lo competition. For the Jingfeng Lo competition, I can recall every one. I've long been aware of your savors at Yu's had a reputation. I don't know what kind of relation your chef and that savor of mine have. And I have no clue why he's willing to waste his talents away like this. But I won't do the same. All the cooking skills I've inherited over the years, I can't let them end with me.
Mobufu stands, produces a letter from his pocket, and places it on the table.
You tell him this. That untrained disciple of his, she passes. Tell her to report to Jingfeng Lo 2 days later before noon. Huh? She just passes? You get good enough business here. Did the doorsteps sink again recently? We haven't replaced it in over 10 years. Low doorsteps can't keep the wind out. It's getting cold in the coming days. The boss won't let me. He says the lower the better. Too high and all the diners will stop coming.
Yeah, he's definitely avoiding Mobufu, which is sad. Mobufu's just like, I love that noodles. Like, sir, I just want to have your noodles again. Mobufu steps over that low doorstep and disappears into the thick of night. Once again, the restaurant is empty save for squalls of wind through the hall. Their whistle grows louder, as if lamenting.
Is he gone? You really are. I heard Blaze passed the test. Does it mean the prize money? Forget about the prize money. What's wrong with you to torment a man like that? He's 70, 80 years old, and you'll just watch him freak out like that. You just can't find an apprentice to fit him, right? What's to worry about? Look at me, I never worry about things like that. Put yourself in his shoes. He spent a lifetime honing his craft just for it to be lost in a blink. Well, if it's lost, it's lost. It's his future reputation that he cares about right now. It's the title of first under heaven he's carrying. It's others' cuisine he's obsessed with. There's no way he can focus on his own craft and improve it at this rate. If he can't make it through this, nobody can help him. Ayo, Blaze is back. Look how late it is. I bet you haven't eaten. I'll go make you something now.
Yeah.
Congrats. I have good news for you. You passed the Jingfeng Lo exam. We'll split the reward money 30-70 like we agreed.
Yeah.
You don't care? If you're that good for money, how about leaving your 30% of... Huh? Xingzu didn't come back with you?
Right. Where's Xingzu?
Oh, she dropped in this afternoon while Jiang was out buying ingredients. She left you a note too.
Left me a note? You've passed the Jingfeng Lo chef selection. Please follow...
Oh, whoops, wrong one. This is the one.
What could be so secret that she has to leave it on a note for you? She's inviting me to her home. Ning Manor? Ooh, we get to visit her. I'm excited. And for reals, I feel like he wasn't even trying to get, to recruit Brother Yu. He just wants food again. He wants to meet that guy who saved him all those years ago. Probably say thank you as well. Raised wax gourd cube. No fear. You came. Of course I did. That's what you do when the Nings invite you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hide anything from you. I just don't really think it's something I should bring up for no reason. Nothing to apologize for. You got your troubles. I'm not the kind to give you the stink eye for being blue-blooded. So, what do I call you, Lady of House Ning? My name is Ning Yin. I'm not actually part of House Ning. I was adopted by grandfather as a child. He was he was always introduced to me as a distant relative of the Nings, but I've never met any relative who actually shares blood with me. Do you remember what I told you before? Look, I'm pretty bad at comforting people. No, it's okay. Grandfather's very nice to me, and my background has never caused me any trouble at all. Everyone treats me very well. Your grandpa would be Ning Shu, ex-minister of rights? Yes. Perfect. I know. It's getting chilly. Don't just stand out there. Let's go inside and talk, okay? Sure, I guess. I wonder if Blaze's dad taught her calligraphy as well. The corridor meanders on, through a rock garden and bamboo thicket, then between the two halves of a lotus pond. A cool breeze brushes through, the autumn waters softly ripple, and in them, Blaze's reflection follows behind Ning Yin's. As they pace across the bridge, the two pass through a deserted room, packed up with belongings and dead leaves strewn everywhere. The courtyard is messy, I know, not presentable to guests at the very least. I apologize. The whole family's moving out here soon. Grandfather can take Baizao's dry climate at his old age. We're planning him to move back to the old place in Jiangnan. Though Ning Yin's pace is glacial, she can only hurry up once she notices her friend in no mood to appreciate the scenery. Up ahead, we're almost there. Take a seat. I'll fetch some tea and refreshments from the kitchen. Our house cooks are all on leave, so I can't serve you much more than some cold sides. No need to bother. I can't stick around long. Yeah, she was definitely the one adopted in this case. Though dang. Ning Yin, you look great for 40. Are things that urgent? Well, alright. Ning softly closes the door. The trips that follow outside fade. The room grows heavier with silence. Alright, tell me why you invited me here. I'm sorry, I was going to look for you yesterday, actually, after the fire at Ding Feng Lo. But I overheard your conversation with the Deputy Minister of Judicial Review Office and Chef Mo. And? Blaze, I might have met your father before. When I was 15 years old, I remember we had a visitor. Grandfather was always busy with work. His apprentices and co-workers were coming and going in his estate. None of my business, by and large. But slowly, I realized an extra person had moved in, wearing blue low-ranking Mandarin's robes. Every time I saw him, he was alone. As if other people just weren't his concern. At first, I didn't really pay attention. It was later that year, on my birthday when... Like every other year, Grandfather would hold this great big birthday party dinner for me. With lights and banners strung up everywhere, and friends and family all around. Not that I knew more than a handful of them. They were chattering the day away, and about what I had no clue. So eventually, I sneaked out of the dinner, and nobody noticed when I did. I wandered around the courtyard for ages, bored out of my mind, then scampered into Grandfather's study on a whim. It was there where I saw that man again. I remember him stuffing his pocket with letter papers and brushes. When he noticed me, his face was stretched with nervousness, and he pulled the brush and paper back out again in a rush. Are you...
It's not what it looks like. I needed to finish copying some letters, so I was going to take them home. The High Minister's sending these to very important Mandarins, so I was just worried if the paper wasn't good enough.
Is it Dad? It's okay. It's just brushes and paper. You're welcome to make use of it, sir.
Thank you, little lady.
What's your name?
My name is Guchuan. I'm a transcriber for your estate. I copy and file the estate correspondence.
Okay, so it is Dad. In this case, I feel like Blaze probably looks more like her mom. Well, Lappy looks more like her dad. Maybe. Ooh, yeah, she could be a relative to the Grand Receptor. I'm Ning Yin.
Miss Ning, of course, I know you.
Then now we know each other. Sir, I want to read in here for a bit. I won't interrupt you while you work. Is that okay?
Of course, feel free, Miss Ning.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Ning, are you into these history books?
Mm-hmm. Grandfather always says one should view history as a mirror. We must use it to study our ancestors' wisdom and character, and then from their teachings. But I think reading is just fun. It's like all these amazing people recorded in the text are coming to life before me. And they're all my friends. I think someday, it might be nice to join the Imperial Historical Cabinet as a historian myself.
You've got quite the unique outlook, Miss Ning. If you're interested in following in the High Minister's family footsteps, I'm sure you do well.
You think Grandfather's really cool too, then?
Of course, Minister Ning's been helming the Ministry of Rights for decades. He has plenty of old deeds to his name. He's a Mandarin everyone loves.
Mm-hmm. Everyone in his family is so cool. My uncle and aunts are always away from Baizhou, traveling all over the country. I hear Yan couldn't have set up the meteorological and earthquake systems it has today without them. And Sichu, my little sister, she's even cooler. She's 2 years younger than me, but at least by the last Baizhou Academy study camp, all the professors in the College of Foreign Affairs were praising her. Everyone was teasing her by calling her Little Miss Minister. All the people in my family are going to leave their names in history books. I love them and respect them a lot. I want to record who they are and everything they do. But I could never become like them. Compared to them, I'm just normal.
You know, that reminds me of something my master once said to me. As history has ebbed and flowed, the floods and tides are recorded, yet most are streams that simply trickle on by, but without the babbling brook, how would the waves arise? The waves and brooks don't care about who's greater or who's plainer. Indeed, the vast majority will never get to leave their names in the history annals. But they're not the empty space between the lines. They're the pages themselves.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I talked your ear off there.
sir, your handwriting is very beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Oh well, it's my only skill, really. I can still remember when the High Minister gave me this transcriber job.
I can never write my name properly. Grandfather's gotten on my case about it more times than I can remember.
Handwriting's a long road, just keep at it, and you'll see the change eventually.
Maybe you could be my calligraphy teacher then? Ah, yes, the calligraphy.
I would never pose as your teacher with my modest brushwork, miss, but... Right. I have 2 copybooks here. I copy from them all the time. The forms are very irregular. It's perfect for beginners. If you don't mind, Miss Ning, you can have this as your birthday present.
How do you know it's my birthday today?
Well, they decorate this estate so brightly this time of every year, you see. I've spent long enough here that I've heard. Miss Ning, happy birthday.
Thank you. The conversation always stayed with me. I liked how he talked and how he saw things. And I don't know why. I can't really say, but he felt so close to me in a way. But after that, I saw much less around the state. The next time I got to talk to him, it was years and years later. Like it is odd. Grandfather's code has lasted for a month by now, and he's still not getting any better. Now it's almost winter. It might only get worse at this rate. We'll be counting on you for the next month. We'll be counting on you for the next while, Doctor.
The High Minister's malady is mostly from overwork. You can remind him to rest more often, my lady.
I will.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I apologize for running into you, miss. Very, very sorry.
It's alright, sir. Are you okay? Why don't you sit down and rest for a while? You really look quite ill.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Sir, you dropped your... Sir? Are these painkillers?
Strong painkillers at that. Whoever that was, he must be quite badly ill.
Doctor, if you're free, could I ask you to attend to that man too? You can bill his medical expenses to me. I was worried about grandfather's condition at the time and didn't pay that encounter much mind. I was just planning to pay him a visit later at some point when I had the time. But after that winter, I never saw him again. Doctor, thank you so much for all your work. Grandfather's back in perfect health now. Right, and about the man I asked you to attend to.
Oh, you mean that Guchuan man? He died.
Was it his illness?
No. I hear some kind of accident took him while he was on his way back to Victoria. But given his health, I can't imagine he'd have lived much longer than even then. Truth is, last I met him, his malady had taken root in his vitals. I could hear it in his breathing. I can't imagine how much he was suffering in life.
His malady was taking root in his vitals, and he was in much pain. I wonder if he had neuropathy. Ugh. It's a mystery to me why he'd even decided to travel so far while it's sick. This very room, it was a study Sir Guchuan was using. It's been 10 years since he passed away. The place has gone through some changes in that time. But... this. I couldn't tell you why, but I kept hold of it. But I kept hold of this medicine bottle ever since. Blaze, I really am so sorry. No. My dad was nothing like that. I don't think he was ever that funny fit, but he was never weak. Whenever I was with him, he always had this light in his eyes. How could... Even now, I'm not sure I understand Sir Guchuan, but I know he was a warm, gentle person, I could tell. I blame myself over and over for not being able to do anything more for him. Why are you bothering to tell me all this? I know you suspect that my grandfather was somehow behind your father's passing. At the point, I can only tell you what I know, but... You told me all this to try and convince me. Ningxu was innocent? No. I just wanted to implore you. Please find out the truth. Whether for Sir Guchuan's sake, or for the sake of the truth itself. Whatever that truth even is. Are you... You don't have to tell me twice. I am gonna get to the bottom of this. What first struck Lin Qingyan about the Judicial Review Office was a solemn hush. The first time she ever set foot in this courtroom's door, all noise promptly vanished behind her. She remembers Yu Chang telling her why it was designed so. Silence begets peace, peace begets thought, thought begets results.
Shouldn't the Judicial Review Office be drowning in work top to bottom? And yet, you got the office all to yourself, Deputy Minister Lin. Jiazen, what are you here for? Since our routine investigation, there's some issues we'd like to consult you on regarding the Yu Cheng case. Consultation or investigation, which is it? Deputy Minister Lin, after working together for years, I'm I implicitly trust you on a personal level, but the Department of Discipline and Supervision has a lot riding in this case. We have to go through the emotions, Lane, if you'll pardon me. Just ask what you need to. Name: Lin Qingyan. Gender: female. Let's get the basic info for now. For the next few questions, you don't need to elaborate on your answers. Just respond yes or no. Are you grilling me? Everything you say from here on will be recorded. I'm worried what you say could be fly against you. If you have no further questions, let's begin. Deputy Minister Lin, you passed Tianchi Bureau's assessments in childhood and were exceptionally admitted for your outstanding grades and followed the esteemed Sandstorm Count in learning your Lei Fa. After graduating from the Tianchi Bureaus, you chose to join the Judicial Review Office and soon accompanied then Deputy Minister Yu Cheng in investigations all across the realm. In just a year, from Registrar, you rose several ranks to become the youngest Deputy Minister in the history of Yan. Is this background as stated true? Yes. In your third month with the Judicial Review Office as Registrar, you handed in a whistleblower report to Discipline and Supervision. It accused the Right Assistant Revenue Minister of embezzlement and extortion, and you recovered 10 million in stolen assets. In your fifth month, in Changji, you essentially single-handedly shone light on the local academy's examination fraud. Over 100 mandarins were implicated in this, the highest of which was second rank. All were eventually rounded up. Upon becoming Deputy Minister, you handed this case of former Judicial Review Officer Deputy Minister Yu Cheng forging evidence, causing him to be expelled from the office's Haoran Pavilion, with all status stripped from him thereafter. Are these case histories as stated true? Yes. With an academic background like this, surely everyone lauds you as a young up-and-comer, blessed to the gills with talent. And yet, people can't help but wonder what gives such a green-hand mandarin the courage, the capacity to handle these cases. Can you get to the point? If I'm remembering right, your good mother and father were Tianxis in the Chamber of Heaven's designs, spending years building much in the north, even being vested personally by the True Lung. The Lin family's a well-bred one, many Tianxi giants in its line, and on top of that, rumor has it they're quite closely knit with the Lord Exorcist household. As for Sandstorm Count, I think even the rank fails to succinctly capture your Shifu's importance to Great Yan. Are these relationships stated true? Jie-san, what are you doing? You need only answer yes or no, Deputy Minister Lin. Don't think I'm deaf to your connotations. You're trying to say it was only by leaning on my background that I could take on judicial cases all these years? I certainly didn't say that at any point. Having known each other for years, I would never doubt your integrity. The Lin Qingyan in my mind's eye has always been a pursuer of justice. But why, Lin, do you not pursue now? Jie-san, just why did you come to see me today? How much do you really know about the Yu Cheng affair? As I just said, I'm here to see you today on routine business. As for the Yu Cheng case, what I heard in the courtroom that day is all I know. What makes you so dead set on the case, Censor Jie-san? Before you decided you'd investigate it, I remember we actually had an argument. I'm going to speak out of line here. The whole stripping of his rank aside, I really do respect people like Yu Cheng. Now of all times, you're going to defend him again? If a law enforcer does not themselves abide by the law, that's abuse of power, that goes for every last member of the three organs of justice. What kind of double standard could you possibly be applying here? No. The Judicial Review Office's verdict is settled on Yu Cheng's mistake. I've little more to say there. I'm just very curious. What kind of truth could have pushed him to such means to find it? You must be more familiar with Yu Cheng than me. In your opinion, was he a smart man? Naturally, when it comes to sniffing out lies or chasing down leads, I'm no match for him. Then did you ever wonder if, supposing Yu Cheng's truly intended to cover up his own forgery, you should have been able to make such a short work of the case? You're telling me that he let me find him out on purpose? What for? That I don't know. But he put you in charge of the Scrollery fire case. To an outsider, I don't think I can say that Yu Chang had no faith in you. You've been all over by Zhao the past few days investigating that case. I know that. I've heard as much. And yet since yesterday, you've been loitering around. You've been loitering in the Judicial Review office, acting like you've been grounded. I can't help but be curious. What made you go and give up on pursuing this case? Are you afraid of offending the high and mighty? No, that's not like the Lin Qingyan I know. Did someone love to crack down on you? Can't be, I think. You're sitting here in the office after all, not in a judicial prison cell. If not that, then all my pondering can only produce one answer. You're scared that if you continue, you'll implicate someone you know. Seems I guessed right. In the thick of things, your concern clouds your judgment. It's like you've forgotten the simplest of truths. Don't miss the forest for the trees. If you can't hide it, you may as well tip it out. Show it some sunlight. Mr. Censor, you really served up a lesson for me today. Not at all. I think the hush in this office might have helped you figure out plenty by yourself. I know what I must do. Madam, I went to ask Deputy Minister Lin if she wanted to get anything to eat, since I saw that she hadn't left the office all day, but she... When did she go missing? I don't know. Nobody's seen her at all. A biting chill gusts through, the stiff breeze curling papers and sending them dancing madly through the air. A wide-open window clatters against its wall. On the table beneath it, a ceremonial gown lies neatly folded and topped with a document, pressed down in place by inkstone. It is Lin Qingyan's written resignation. Oh, she's resigning. At least she has her job at Rhodes Island. Watching as Blaze vanishes far into the distance, Ningxu clutches the door knocker. The vague dark point vanishes over the crest of the path, but her stare remains fixed there, lingering for the longest time. What are you spacing out at the door for? Grandfather. And now to fight. Actually, let me stare a little bit more. Oh, this is fine. No fear. Oh, those are gonna be the most annoying. It's okay. They'll get one hit on me at least. Yep, they're just gonna get one hit on me. It's fine. It is what it is. Or no, it's not fine. I don't like that. Okay, bonk. Or no, they are gonna get hit still. Boo! Oh man. Or it could be fine. You know, no fear. Actually, wait, I hate this guy. Can you just not fling things, please? Stop. Alright, this is fine so far. No fear. Oh, it's getting way too close for comfort. I don't like that. And again, can you just like not? Okay, thanks. Okay, just a bit more and then I can start firing off again. Don't come to my way, please.
Go get those things.
いいなよ。そうはもうじき終焉だけど、君たちは。
お茶今日もよろしくね。
Sheesh. How many more streams do you think it'll take to finish the event? Probably next stream then? Okay, yeah, if there's only 4 stages left.
ねばね。ついてないわね。今日の貧乏くじはあん
At the earliest, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. Cause Monday, Gunther wants Monster Hunter. So that's already taken.
Your friend left so soon? She won't even stay for dinner?
She had urgent business. She couldn't stay.
You as a child, you never brought friends over. Here I thought I could drop in to see what she's like.
I don't even know if we count. I don't know if we even count as friends, really. Seeing as a detective, Ningyin. The old man tries to think of something to say, but can't. He simply reaches over and brushes a leaf off her shoulder.
Almost time to move. Plenty of things still on your plate, eh?
What about you, grandfather?
For days I was all ready to go home. Now that we're about to, I look around at our little garden and I think, oh, if only I could stay. Do you remember? It was here in this pavilion that we laid out some sand and grabbed a stick and I taught you how to write one stroke at a time. You said by next year you'd be writing all the estate couplets for us. Then you spent 2 months with me learning, and after that you had to give up. But by next year you really did write me a couplet. Bountiful blooms and full moon, may joy last forever.
I'm surprised you still remember, grandfather.
How could I forget? Ah, another year, another mid-autumn. How quickly the days pass. The two of us haven't chewed the fat like this in the longest, have we? Grandfather to granddaughter.
I've been out constantly, and you're always occupied with guests. We hardly have the chance to meet.
The whole family's leaving the capital after all. Quite the headache. But things will settle down once we're back in Langye, and we'll have plenty of time to chat along the way. Are you almost done writing that book of yours?
Grandfather, I don't think I can go back to Langye with you.
When did you make up your mind?
Ningyin shakes her head softly. She falls a few steps back. You're returning home, grandfather, like a leaf returns to its root. It's human nature. The whole family sympathizes, but the journey is meandering enough to make us worried. The Nings are bursting with talent. Everyone's work forms a cornerstone of Yan. Compared to them, I am merely the lone choice to accompany you back. But frankly, I was always a distant orphan from Langye anyways. It was because you took such pity on me that I could spend these decades at the Ning Manor. If I go now to Langye, I go back to where my long-gone parents once lived.
That was your thinking when you asked me to accompany me home?
Grandfather, that was my thinking. It all seemed to fall into place. I almost managed to convince myself. But I spent the last few days on a farewell tour of all sorts of Baizhou streets, so I could finish up the Baizhou cuisine and food culture somehow. And I realized all my memories are of the city. I can clearly recall what year we planted that persimmon tree in the courtyard, and what its fruits make for the best wine, and every restaurant of every road and alley, and what the chefs are like, and how many different ways you can cook each dish. All of a sudden, it hit me that this very city, more so than the Ning Manor, feels like my home.
Huh. That's on me. That's on me for not asking you how you feel. I've been nothing but me this whole time.
Grandfather, you're my one and only family. You've always been since I was little. I really did want to go back home with you at first, but the reason I'm set on staying in Baizhou now is you as well, grandfather.
Is it?
When I first joined the Imperial Historical Cabinet to compile annals, there was one thing I could never puzzle out. At some specific point in Yan's millennia of history, out of nowhere, the written word proliferated, and education became for all. Even the earliest of the tablets we were studying on only went back to that period. So I thought in that period, someone must have pushed for those changes, but I flipped through through practically all the material we had and couldn't find a single clue. And a strange feeling that, during Yan's history, one person seemed to be missing. Then one day, I met someone strange at the Go Club who told me a story of that person. I thought he was just a yarn-spinning storyteller at first, but as I further researched, I gradually found all his stories to be corroborated. According to him, she was a gentle person who gave her heart and soul, her blood and sweat to the well-being of the people. And she gave too much. But how could someone as good as her fail to leave her name in her annals? That was when I realized that a history book isn't a container, but a sieve. The stories that stay behind are few and far between. Grandfather, I want to record your story, but then I look back and it dawns on me that for all the years I spent with you, I can't even write with any clarity about what kind of person you are. Ning Yin finally lifts her head and meets the old man's eyes. She waits for his reply, his answers to her unspoken question. She's waited for so long. I guess this is where she finds out she's adopted by the family, like for reals, not just a distant relative. Who goes there?
Who goes there?
Shh, thought I heard something. It's all the bizarre cases these days. Makes me feel like someone's going to barge in at any moment and wreak havoc.
This is the Judicial Review Office. What kind of miscreant would break in here? Quit jumping at ghosts. Guard duty's at almost over. And then we can clock out and head home.
Just wait a second, enter through the front. Say you're here to report a case, and then find a floor map on the way to the waiting room. The window in the waiting room yesterday faces north. The judicial entrance faces south. Behind is a high perimeter wall. Lin Qingyan's office is third floor. Get to the window, climb onto the sprinkler pipes, and no one should notice me. Tamade. Once I find her, I'm gonna sock her in the... Who's there? Lin Qingyan? Blaze? What are you here for? What am I here for? I'm here to get you back. Where'd your old court uniform go? I resigned. Then went back to the restaurant, couldn't find you, and worried you might be up to something stupid. So thank you for coming. So thank you for confirming that fear. Now let's find somewhere else to talk. You're telling me that all those years, Guchuan was staying at the Ning Manor? But how did you find out? Never you mind that. Now can you tell me exactly what that means? Minister Ning's involvement in the Guchuan case runs even deeper than I thought. He was clearly hiding something in his previous testimony. I did suspect that he was the perpetrator, but going by Mo Bufu's testimony, when Guchuan was sent to death row in the fallout of the old case, Ning Shi was the one who got him out, knowing that he wouldn't have a motive to try and get him killed again. And the most key thing, I had no idea before that Yu Cheng had contact with Guchuan so early on. Whatever's connecting this string of events, it's likely more complicated than anything I've imagined. See, I'm still curious. All those years ago, my dad came to Baizhou on his own, and what the hell for? Blaze's bizarre journey is what she'll tell them. Yes, that's the key question. Blaze has no clue about the two lives Guchuan lived. If he was a fall guy in that incident, why would he return to Baizhou a dozen years after the fact, and plant himself in the middle of the maelstrom? Ningxi's position, Yu Cheng's scheme, we still can't draw an outline around any of these questions. How should I let Blaze know? Hey, you know I can tell that look on your face? Come on, what's our next move exactly? Blaze, about yesterday. Forget about it. I know you. It's my duty types get the urge to do a little weird stuff now and then. Not my circus. I'm not arguing. Just don't ever tell me any stupid crap like I'm sending you back for your own safety. Again, because you're still trying to ditch me? Blaze, trust me. I will see this case through to the end. But you can't stick around in Baizhou any longer than this. Do as I said. Leave within 2 days. Head to the Lungman office first, but you can't stay there for too long either. So once you've reorganized, get back on the road straight away and leave Yan as soon as... Over my dead body. You don't trust me to keep investigating? I mean, I do, but you're out of a rank and you're out of a job. How are you gonna investigate? I'll think of something. If Yuchin can resign and investigate in secret, then so can... I have an idea. Let's do this thing a little more thoroughly. What's your plan? Blaze pulls a letter from her pocket. It's a chance Mobufu gave her, and now it's both of their chances. Not like we're gonna get anywhere just by running around town. We'll head to the feast of 100 delicacies, go straight to the True Lung, and ask him to explain all this. I love that ominous lightning. Or thunder.
Your Imperial Majesty, the Ministry of Rights has drafted the official list of attendees for the Feast of 100 Delicacies. To mark the occasion, Victoria, Lithuanian, Laterano, and other such nations have sent us their envoys with letters of celebration. For your Imperial Majesties per usual. Your Imperial Majesty, the Ministry of War and Sui Regulator have finished drawing up joint battle plans. Also for your Imperial Majesties per usual. The Ministry of Revenue was not consulted in this battle on this battle's drain on labor and fiscal resources, nor the post-war preparations. How are these battle plans drafted? I know you and the Ministry of Revenue are both very busy. The Ministry of War simply went to some small pains to working out the manpower, the funding, the ration, and even the Ministry of Engineering's post-war repair expenses. And now you can read together with His Majesty, since we're having an audience and all. Logistics are calculable, but how many of Yan's people will bleed in this war? Is that a bill you can work out so easily? So the Grand Tutor means to say, if you can't work it out, then no need to try. It's autumn. How are the harvests in the north? Dahuang has resumed production ASAP following the disaster. Our harvest this year is more or less on par with previous years. In that case, what about next year? Your Imperial Majesty, a life measured in years, yet the stress feels ancient. We're running out of time. This involves the livelihoods of all Yan's people. I ask that your Imperial Majesty reconsider. Grand Tutor, the ministries have long discussed everything worth discussing. It's about time we made up our minds. His Majesty's decree is made. We simply await his proclamation at the Feast of 100 Delicacies. It's growing late. It looks to rain. The two of you can leave. May we be excused.
The man behind the curtain lifts his gaze. In this desolate palace, 3 banquet seats lay set out in a row to his side, and one of them is truly showing its age. Faintly, a sigh.
Ayo. Trust this rain to come out of nowhere. I'm soaked. Autumn drizzles and cold snaps. We'll be out of fresh vegetables in a few days at this rate. I didn't even get to rustle up this year's winter clothes. Chef, I think we're forced to start our winter pickles now. Get your mess of stuff out of the storehouse as soon as... Chef? Blaze? Xingzu? Where'd everybody go?
Jiang's so confused. The ever-lively kitchen is presently deserted. All the cookware's tidied away. The cramped space seemed a good bit wider like this. The only presence is a pot of soup boiling on the stove. Yummy. I wonder if the person who's the soup is for will actually come up. I hope they do. I want to see what the soup looks like.
私をご存知なのですか？
Yeah.
もしブレイズから何か聞いたのであればどうか信じないでくださいませ。
Ooh, I got her at least.
あの子は私が民謡歌手であるなどと言いふらしたこともあるのです。私はバイザオから参りました。
I am surprised that she's the baby that was taken.
もし面白い謡言を耳にすることがあればいつでも話してくださいますね。
So both Blaze and Ningyin are both 40. Dang, what's your secret? I want to look that good when I'm that age. Like, good for them. But cool. Okay, I'm glad. I'm buying that first because I want to summon real quick.
おかえり。
Just a tiny bit. I'm only gonna throw these ones. So, hiya! Blue! Hi, Utage! Hey! Hi! Sorry, Utage, but I'm in a rush. White. Yeah, come on, you stop sulking and come home. Hey, steward. Next, please. Blue. Pinecone. Next, please. Wait. Lava. Hey, Lava.
なんとなくここに来たってわけなんだ。
Brother, he'll come home eventually. But oh gosh. So I got 2 Blaze so far. And... okay, the most amazing part, in a kind of way, is... Look! Look at what happened because of this banner. Max potential. Like, sheesh! Yay, but at the same time, like, woohoo! Good for her! Look at her being so amazing on in my Rhodes Island. She loves me! But brother, you know you wanna come home already. Like, boo! What was the most success I got on a 10 pull? Either 1 or 2. 4! Holy cow! I think 2 is the most. Guchun could have been part of that family. Like, heck. It looks like he also has white hair, kind of like... our girl. Plus, it'd be easy if he... let's say he was involved with taking the baby. It'd be easy if, like, a relative grabbed it and just, like, took it over to someone else's place. Like, ta-da! Simple. Oh, but 1 was off banner and wasn't the limited. Holy cow! And oh, before I go... yes? And don't mind me, just gonna do this real quick.
顔の傷。わかりました。でもまずはこのふわふわ。
Sure, I'm gonna do the opening scene again.
おかえり、ドクター。
Let me just accept this real quick. Ta-da! This one? Wait, am I able to fast forward it? Okay, no. Oh, not that opening scene, the story stage. Okay, this one. We'll go from here. "16 times speed, because 32 is too fast." Yeah, 16 seems good. There he is. Yep, the one going around with the family. Being like, nope, okay, I'm gonna leave the thingy. He's like, yeah, I'm hopping out of here. Don't tell him you saw us. Yep, let's go to on. It's be he. Like, ta-da! And based on his hair, even eye color, he could be related to Ningyin. It'd be funny if Ningyin's also Blaze's cousin. Like, oh, family. Because he has, like, white hair and pinkish eyes. It's like, who else has white hair and pinkish eyes?
おかえり。
It'd be she. Wherever she's hiding in my thing. Yeah, they are close enough. Maybe even cousins or something. Which would be a little bit funny, but kind of messed up too. I wonder how much stuff was buried, because gosh darn it. That is a lot. Ooh, yay, reset. But oh no, reset. I mean, actually no, it's more exciting. More exciting than painful, if anything. Kind of, sort of, yeah. AKA more funds for throwing at banner. Except this banner would end by then, so... I think it ends before that. Which is ouch. Truly, truly ouch. There was some hope. But yeah, see, same hair color and kind of like similar eye color too. Good one. So hey, potential cousin. Hey, girl. Yo, I wish payday was before then, but I'm still gonna spend no matter what. It's okay. I can suffer. I can eat ice soup. Oh, wait, or another bad thing. Wait. I just thought of another thing too that could have happened as well. So if the babies are born the same year, they could have done a switcheroo because Guchuan does have white hair and pinkish eyes. We don't know what Blaze's mama looks like, so... Like, who knows? Like, ooh... The drama could be even more extreme with baby switching. It's like, oh, Dad, he has the fluffy ears, but his hair color and eye color are different. Blaze's family tree's intense. Like, just knowing about Daddy. Like, holy cow. Though it'll be fun to see what happens next week. I'll finish the event for sure, either Tuesday or Wednesday. Debating which day. But for now, I'll be good and hop off, and then also see maybe grab a little snack. I should at least shove a tiny bit of crackers in my mouth. I need some calories. So with that being said, thank you everyone for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day at Epic Gacha Luck. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. hunger. Tummy. Ah.